our city of more than 22 million people voted 70 new representatives or MLAs recently. And guess how many women got voted in? Only 5. That's like 7%, which means that gender disparity in representation is an understatement. And it means that instead of improving every year, we regressed from the previous 10% representation of women in Delhi's assembly, in making of its laws, in deciding what's good for us. The lucky 5 who got through included outgoing Chief Minister Atishi and the Bharatiya Janata Party's winning candidate and our brand new Chief Minister from Shalimar Bagh, Rekha Gupta. Although some may argue that Delhi is particularly rough on women, actually data shows that women's representation in political space is uniformly poor across the country. If Delhi has only 7% women MLAs, the average percentage is 9%. So if you're looking to move to a place that has more equitable gender representation, that's going to be tough. And it doesn't get better in Parliament either. Just like in Delhi, the number of women MPs in Lok Sabha fell since the last election by almost 1 percentage point to 13.6% women. That's abysmally low compared to countries like Sweden, Norway, which have 46% women. Not just that, even worse than Bangladesh, which has 21% women in parliament. I've told you these details and data to drive home the point I'm about to make. That having 50-year-old Rekha Gupta as our 9th Chief Minister may be just ticking some boxes by the Bharatiya Janata Party, but it is still significant. What are those boxes? First, she belongs to the Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad. That is, she belongs to the very powerful ideological group called the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. Since the assembly elections in 2023, we've seen a tilt towards picking people who went to the ABVP school. There's Bhajanlal Sharma of Rajasthan, Mohan Yadav, or even Devendra Fadnavis in Maharashtra. After 2024 general elections and Maharashtra's turnaround win for BJP, ABVP or RSS's importance has been heightened further. And so it was a nod to the numerous meetings that the RSS had in drawing rooms across Delhi to have one of their own as the Chief Minister. Second, caste is always the big factor for any party, and Gupta represents one of the BJP's key voter bases, the Banyas. In fact, as someone explained, you couldn't have Parvesh Verma despite his phenomenal feat of defeating Arvind Kejriwal because he was a Jat. The BJP had just taken a counter position to the dominant Jats in Haryana and in Rajasthan. So how could they appoint a Jat chief minister, and what good was it going to do for them in the coming elections? So they used a single move to achieve two ends. They didn't just appease their own Banya Vaishya vote bank, they also got someone who came from the same caste as Arvind Kejriwal, and Gupta, like the AAP leader, is also from Haryana. So that's 2 boxes ticked. And finally, the BJP, which is a big one for symbolism, or what some critics call lip service, found an opportunity to fill a major gap in their women empowerment narrative. They did not have a woman chief minister. And thus, Rekha Gupta became the chosen one. Now, usually when a political party wants to have a token leader, they pick someone who may or may not have the credentials. But looking at Rekha Gupta's CV and speaking to her peers, she's been working in the party for the last 30 years. As a student of Daulat Ram College, she got into the Students' Union, and she's been a municipal councillor thrice since she first got elected in 2007, other than holding various positions in her party. Now, you may be a DEI candidate of your party and obtain a ticket, but if you win an election thrice, then you've won your place fair and square. And that's something the men I've spoken to have also said about Rekha Gupta. But before we talk about what she did right, the thing that happens with all in this age of social media and scrutiny is that everything you've ever said gets taken out. So just like J.D. Vance's horrendous misogynistic comments emerged after he was chosen as Trump's running mate, Rekha Gupta's rants against the Jawaharlal Nehru University, India's topmost liberal education center, also came out. Not just that, Gupta's distasteful comments against former Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal showed her in what some felt was undignified or undeserving of such high office. As someone who's also written some questionable things on social media that today I'm mortified by, I will give it to her supporters who say that it was just part of her journey from being a college-level fighter to a corporator, that she should be given a chance to show how she has evolved since then. Most importantly, her college rival and now Congress's chief of their women wing, Alka Lamba, agrees with all of her supporters on this point. She vouches for Gupta's ability and says that Gupta deserves a chance to serve. It's interesting and rare to see a woman leader from the opposite camp stand up for a rival. But maybe it's because Lamba and Rekha Gupta both belong to the even rarer breed of women politicians, the ones who are self-made, the ones who do not come from a political family. They have to often do audacious things to grab attention, to make their presence felt. And in politics, it could be the person who loudly takes on their rival or just shouts to make herself heard. In Delhi, we've been spoiled because we've had women chief ministers before. Sushma Swaraj came from a political family, and Sheila Dikshit was the daughter-in-law of Uma Shankar Dikshit, a former cabinet minister from UP. But Rekha Gupta will have to chart her own course. As she stood next to her 6 male cabinet colleagues after her swearing in, she knew, as did we all, that the going will never be easy.
What the changes in India's population and the differential growth rates.
This city has emerged.
We have a very special guest on the record.
The interview.
The role that the US side played at that point of time.
पूरी दुनिया की नजर
Assume my phone is tapped, I can probably say hello to Mr. Modi.
आपके भारत पर है.
Episode of Know Your Candidate.
The rising confidence of India under Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Communist China is the greatest threat.
There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremist.
I'm still a little perplexed by why we.
Your daily dose of news from India and across the world. Cutting edge views and analysis. Tune into HT videos. Click on the bell icon to subscribe.